Good day, all. Ira Epstein of Linden Associates with your financial market wrap-up for this Thursday, November 24th, 2020 at 7 p.m. Central Time. I'm laughing. I have cats, and I used to have dogs. My wife has a lot of pets. And to make a long story short, they love when I'm doing these to come and speak to me as I'm doing these videos. But to make a long story short, we saw today the coming together of the Biden announcement on who his cabinet's going to be made up of, the coming together of the fact that the GSA has been given the go-ahead by the president, which is the same as saying the election is over. President-elect Biden has won. And we are looking at the good news on the coronavirus. We have a lot of bad news to come. And that bad news is going to be all these people traveling for Thanksgiving. They are going to spread COVID around. If you don't believe me, that's fine. New York's already imposed to go into the city spot checks. They have people at airports, the terminals for buses, trains, and coming across on the bridges. And they are looking to see, are you a tourist? Where are you going to be quarantined? If you don't have a place, you got a big problem. Do you have a COVID test? There's ways that they're doing this. They're going to impose fines. I'm telling you, I haven't seen lockdowns like this ever. It reminds me of something that you read about, in a science fiction magazine or a book, but not this. In any case, the stock market roared on the news. It did nothing short of roar. Today's a Tuesday. Normally, after a big up day on a Monday, you're down on a Tuesday. That's the norm. You didn't even try to break today. The day was spent, how high could you go, not could you break. Dollar's been under selling pressure as the currencies are moving against it. I am thinking that the pros are going to push on this dollar and see what it can do on the downside. Will not surprise me. That's what I'm expecting, in fact. You're up to areas that you got to be careful of in these energies, and we might as well go to the charts and see why. First off, you're at all-time highs in futures, 36.49 in the S&P. So this market has had, on a closing basis, and the week's not over, but we are up 2.5%, 2.6% so far for the week, 94.75 points. That's huge. We have really 1.5 days left of trading. You have all day tomorrow, and most markets close early on Friday. So I have sent to my clientele already what those hours are. So you want to pay attention to that. So got to be careful here. What can you do? Is there going to be money coming off the table? As you can see, the market was, and we had talked about this, you can almost see how the market was down there, coming up here or from there, depending which way you wanted to draw your line. And now the market is trying to resolve itself right through that high. Can it make it is going to be the big question. But that is what the market is trying to do. What is the swing line? It's up. Higher lows, higher highs, and it was matched by a new higher high. So until 35.42.25 is taken out, the market is saying the trend is up. The bias is up since you're over the 18-day average, and with the opening today, you can see you're very close to this number getting over 35.42.25. That's important to me because on pullbacks, often it's the 18-day average where you can find support. And as such, I want it to be over that number so you keep an uptrend alive if you're bullish, which obviously on this chart, how could you not be bullish? In looking at where the market might ultimately go on this particular run, I stick with what I tell you. The first challenge of a Bollinger Band is often where the pros take money off the table. You did it here, you ran just into this zone 3 days, and then boom, you let go there. I can go further back on the chart. So that's my take on it. And momentum. Well, we have a market that we can't count today. So let's get out of today because you don't know how today's going to finish. On Tuesday, you did not have both numbers over 80 the day before. You're plain overbought. You're being dragged higher by the other indices. That's really what's going on. The NASDAQ too. The NASDAQ tonight finally is clearing these highs. So I can get rid of that arrow pointing down and I put up this one. I got a higher high and a lower low, flat momentum. Maybe you get up to the upper Bollinger Band support, 11,845. The power is here. Fully embedded reading, higher lows, higher highs. Is the market going to make a run for 30,800? Wow. Can't believe I'm saying that number, but that's the big question in my mind. Until the red line closes back under 80, I contend that the pros will buy this market on breaks, looking for higher prices. There are some other objectives. On your charts here, I do not put the window envelopes. They're very important. And those window envelopes are also areas that are resistance. They're standard deviations that run parallel to the 18-day average of closes. They are a popular tool, but I'd have so many lines on this chart. Number one, I don't want to show it. Number two, I want you to take my charting course. You understand what we put on the chart, and I don't leave you behind, and they're for my subscribers. So that is how I look at it, but powerful chart. The Russell, powerful chart. It fully embedded reading, higher lows, higher highs. You see which two are dragging the market. It is the Dow and the Russell. Will it again go to the upper Bollinger Band? It hit it here. It didn't break very much, but it wasn't embedded at that time either. And it doesn't matter. You normally pull back. If you take a look, you normally pull back. You normally pull back. And then when you go, you get another chance. You didn't do it in this case. This market took over the leadership in the market as people started coming out of your FANG stocks, your Apples, stocks like that, and the market running to the upside as people are saying, we're getting a vaccine. I want to own some of the old-fashioned things. I want to own an airplane stock. I want to own a cruise ship again. I want to own Cineworld. I want to own whatever it is. You know, that's what sometimes goes on. The VIX, still bearish as can be. You got a fully embedded reading. My subscribers know what I've been saying about this, and I think the rallies have been sold very effectively, and until it's over, it ain't over, folks. Can it make it to the lower Bollinger Band? Well, it hasn't since early September. And what we had was one breakout up, and then we came back, and we're not getting that much to the downside, which is interesting. The market just doesn't want to get back into those 10 numbers, those 12s that we did last year. Okay. In the bonds and notes, here's what you've got is problems on the longer term. Everything looks to get ready to fire on positive cylinders, right? How do you keep the bond market down in that environment becomes the question. The answer is the Fed. But how long do they want to keep it down? I think they'll, just like on a horse, pull back on those reins and keep the market from dropping. Remember, when you drop, rates are really going higher. But as for the upside, I don't think the public's buying into it or the pros. They're saying it's sooner rather than later if the economic data stays as good as it's been, and it has been good, and you get a COVID-19, how much are you going to do there? That becomes the issue. As we go to the 10-year note, same battle. You have a higher high, lower low. It just can't mount anything to the upside, but I get it, and so do you, I'm assuming, that it's going to be a hard task to keep that. It's one thing when the Fed is keeping it there because the economy is weak and they're going to keep doing things. What I do think you don't want to do is fight the Fed. It's littered with bodies. Dollar index. I'd be surprised if you challenge this 92 area. Why? So we take this market. Here's an outside day up. I have rules for outside days. When you get an outside day up, what you don't want to do within 2 trading sessions is take out that low. If you do, my rule, it's not anyone else's, I made this up, I make up a lot of things, that I think the market will make a run for the closest moving average or Bollinger Band. It's the Bollinger Band in this case. The main moving averages, the 200, the 100, and the 18 are above the market. So that would be my logical point. If it makes that run, it shouldn't get back over this high that it made before it hits that number. In addition, what else are we doing? We're embedding. Just take a look. You got your embedded readings. You began here on Thursday, both numbers under 20, Friday under 20, Monday under 20. So now you've got your embedded reading, which tells me until that's lost with the red line turning over 20, every time this market sticks its head up, what are the pros doing in unison? They're selling. If you came to my webinar this week, and it's, by the way, it's posted on our website if you want to see it. And by the way, people have asked me on our website, if I post a webinar or something, is there a charge for it? You get 3 free period. Period. So it's not 3 a year. You get 3 free views. After that, there's a small fee if you want to watch whatever I do or join us as a subscriber. I admit, on the research I do and the type of things I do, I want to be paid for it. This stuff can be free because you're getting only half the game. Take a look at that. The market is still very bearish in my opinion. Euro currency, overbought, not embedding. So an overbought market, the high up here that you have to be concerned about on this outside day down was 119.12. Take that out and I think you go to the upper Bollinger Band. Are we there yet tonight? Not quite. We hit 119.08.5. We'll see if we can get there. And again, if the pros buy it over that number, I would assume stop would be back under the low that it had that day. Japanese yen. Market fighting 3 days in a row now at the, what, line in the sand. We talk about that. The trend is down, but to go short here for a move, it's pretty hard. You'd have to put a stop, in my opinion, over the most recent high. You're talking a heck of a lot of money. I have better things to do. Bitcoin. Nobody can believe Bitcoin is doing this. Embedded reading, higher highs, higher lows over the 18-day average. What's so hard to understand? I don't think it's that hard to understand. Again, throw the name off the chart. Trade the chart action. It's so difficult for you, I realize it, but that's what chartists do. We then look at the differential between Brent and WTI crude. Now, as far as I'm concerned with today's action, I think the pros are coming out of the market. You did that here and you fell back. This is the first time today you hit it, Tuesday. Tonight you're down just a little bit. Same thing happened in WTI. I don't care if it goes higher. That is the right thing that they're doing. They can jam stops up on some of the trade, but you don't dare put it under today's low. You're giving up so much ground. I don't think that's what they'll do. What else can happen here? You could get where the 18 gets over the 100-day, same in here. So you can get some bullish crossovers yet coming into these markets. What about heating oil? Well, why not? What are you waiting for? More bullish news? Each time you hit this Bollinger Band area, you have historically pulled back from that. You fight that. I don't want to. Nat gas, you lost the embedded reading. I will be very surprised if price and the 18-day average don't come together. It's called a lost embedded slow stochastic trade that I explain in my charting course and when I put out my morning videos. And speaking of those morning videos, you know, 5:40 in the morning, by that time, first of all, I'm up really early. And I've read papers and so on out of Japan, China, and I don't speak those languages, early American versions of them. What's going on in Europe? I'm reading the Reuters, I'm reading Bloomberg, CNBC in America. So I'm all over the board. I mean, all over the board with what I read. And the rationale there is to get you an idea of the reports coming out and what happened early in the morning. That's where it ends. As for the trade ideas that I come up with here, the idea here is that once that news is known, forget about it. Let's go to the chart action. All that news is already in the market. I'm bringing you up on it, but it's already been discounted. And you're into these, and this is what I cover. If you go to our website and you're a subscriber and you pull, there'll be a scroll bar. When you pull it in big letters, I'm older, big letters, it'll say metal markets, interest rates, tell you exactly where you're at. Why? My typical morning video is 15 to 25 minutes long. That's typical. And I'm covering trade ideas galore in there. You don't have to take them. I'm not trying to manage your money. I'm trying to be a sounding board. This is what I'm seeing on the chart, and this is why I'm seeing it. That is, to me, how I get my confidence when I was at the stages that many of you were. I was always waiting. What's this advisor say? What's that one say in the market? Until I learned I can be that advisor. And after 5 decades in this game, I'm at that point. I'm comfortable with what I do in the marketplace. I hope you are comfortable with what I do too. So it's just ideas. Nobody walks on water, but there is money management involved. There's reasons for everything as you do it. The price, the cup of a coffee with a tip, come on, for your first 30 days. After that, you can either go month to month, or if you're smart, you buy a 1-year subscription. That takes it down to $13 for each month for 12 months. $156, and you pay it up front. There's no refund on it, but now you get another break. So if you think about it, $13 a month, you're getting 26 videos at least. The free webinars, the word is free. Other people are paying for those. What about my special reports? If you're not a subscriber, it's $7.95 for each special report. They're included. You know, they're on the website too. And remember, whatever I put out on the website, we allow 3 views, period. After that, you're going to be charged. This is a nice way to do it. I'm Ira Epstein. Best to you. It's going to be fun tomorrow. I'm going to be up probably at 2:33 in the morning watching because I see that there's certain things to already do. You have a great day.